Sam Raimi is back directing with his new movie Send Help. Is he back to his best, or was this a bit of a plane crash? Let's find out on the Late Night Movie Podcast. Welcome back to Late Night Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Welchy, and joining me, as always, is Mr. Pop Figures himself, Andy.
Hello, guys. Yeah, happy to be back. And after hearing that pun, you're gonna have to send me some help, of course. It's gonna be one long
Oh,
episode.
yours is worse than mine. Um, this is it's just us two today. Stephen is not here. He is out watching the Super Bowl tonight. He will be back with us next week on the movie side, but he will be with us on the gaming side this week. Um, Andy, how you been? I know we've done our recordings backwards, but I thought I'd ask you anyway. How you been? You was at a quiz tonight?
Yeah, went to a movie quiz at the pub. Didn't do too bad. Came 10th out of 21 teams. So yeah, not bad going to be fair. So yeah, that was fun. And put me and Steven's knowledge to the test on movies.
Oh,
It's
Stephen
always a
went.
lot harder. Yeah, Steven
Oh,
went.
okay.
Yeah.
I was about to go. I was just looking at the schedule and looking where our next quiz was, and it's not that far away. 2 weeks away. I was thinking you're getting some early practice in, but obviously you both did.
Yeah, no, yeah. Obviously, you have 10 seconds to answer the question, so we're a lot more on the spot with that.
Okay.
Um, you just I don't know if you've been to a quiz recently, but a lot of it's done on tablets, and you just
Ah,
press like the first letter to whatever the answer is. So if it was the Avengers, you press A. But yeah, being on the spot with 10 seconds trying to answer it. There's five of us, so yeah, I think that's right, five of us. Everyone's obviously trying to chuck out ideas and stuff, and when you got 10 seconds, you got to find the letter on the tablet. It's a lot more intense. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. We obviously love doing quizzes on this podcast. So
yeah.
yeah, really enjoyed it. What about you?
Yeah, all good. No quizzes for me. A lot of watching football this week. Went to a friend's today. Kids stuff. Let kids play with each other. Not in that way, obviously. Fucking hell, it sounds really weird. Um, yeah, let the kids play and then watch Sons of Anarchy. And now we're here. Um, but I did get to watch Send Help this week, which obviously you did as well before me.
We watched it early. Yeah, we
You
went
watched it
to
a
the
week
screen
ago.
unseen.
Yeah.
So we watched it on. Yeah, we it was Monday. We watched it Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have
Not
been
not
Monday.
much more.
Yeah,
I watched it on Thursday. Um,
yeah. It was one of the screen unseens where it
that's right.
wasn't like usually it's like a few weeks,
Yeah.
but this one was like a few days. So not a massive difference.
Yeah, I did go on release night, and this doesn't bode well for the film. Release night, the biggest screen my cinema has, like their flagship screen, screen one.
Yeah.
There was five of us, five, five
Oh,
people.
really?
Yeah, it was a
What time
10
did you
p.m.
go?
showing, 10
Oh,
p.m.
okay. Later
Um,
show makes sense.
it was either five or seven. It was definitely just me. There's at least two pairs. I couldn't see if they were couples or not because it was like dark.
Yeah.
um, I can't remember if it was three pairs. I think it was two. Um, and I was like, I get it's 10 o'clock, but this is release night, horror movie ish. I thought it'd be more people, but anyway, was yours busy? I guess your
Yeah.
screen on scenes must get quite popular.
They're always packed out. Screen
Yeah,
unseen's literally we have to as soon as we see it get announced, we literally have to book our tickets for
yeah,
it.
fair enough.
Otherwise you miss like it goes a week and it's fully booked.
Yeah, that makes sense. We'll get into the numbers anyway, and we'll see how it's done. So budget. You haven't got anyone to compete against, but do you want to have a guess what the budget was for this movie?
Don't see it being like a massive budget. Maybe like the 20 to 30 million mark, I'd say.
It was 40 million, apparently.
Okay.
Um,
That's pretty just on the actors.
yeah, yeah, fair, good point. Box office currently, do you reckon it has topped 40 yet or not? So it's been out officially
So Thursday.
since Thursday. In the US as well?
It's pretty good in yeah, yeah, it probably is out in the US. I feel
Yeah,
like this film has been getting a lot of marketing. Um, like it's definitely out in the US because I see some of the TikTok clips and stuff of like cinemas in the US and the way that they like literally just promote everything like crazy.
yeah, I'm just
Um,
trying to see. It came out on the 30th, that's right. Yeah.
I can see this topping 40 million already.
It has got 53.
Yeah.
So a very good first weekend at the box office
Oh,
for this
definitely.
movie. Um, on the first day, just in the US alone, it got 19 million. Um, so solid start. This is probably going to at least double its money. Should comfortably get 80. Um,
Yeah.
so I think it would be considered one of the successes of the year at least. Rotten Tomatoes is definitely a success on that front. 93 on
Yeah.
the
I'm
critic
annoyed.
side.
I originally had this in my six games, six movies to choose on our Rotten Tomatoes game that we do. And I sort of changed my mind on the night when we was actually doing it based on like what other people were choosing. And I was 50-50 initially because of the trailer. I thought it was the film I would enjoy, but I didn't feel like they showed enough in the trailer where I thought critics would like it.
Yeah.
And I should have just went with my gut because of the director and the films that he's directed before and how well they've scored. I should have chose it, but
Yeah, I mean, audience score as well is 87, which is still very solid.
yeah, very
I'm
high.
probably feeling this even more because it sounds like, even though it's not official yet, that Goat might not be getting the scores you were expecting.
Well, I've seen more reviews for that because obviously initially the first two reviews that dropped audience, obviously I haven't seen any critics,
No, there's no
but the
critics yet.
two audience scores that I saw were half a star. But since then, there's been a lot of fives and fours coming in.
Okay,
So
fine.
there's a lot more fives and fours now. Like I think there's like three half stars and then like yeah, how many five, 4 stars.
Okay,
But obviously that doesn't matter anyway. Audience could hate it, critics
true.
could love it.
We'll see, but it's definitely a bit more like, ooh, a wobbly one,
Yeah,
a
a bit
wobbly
unsure
one.
now. I'm like, wait, I thought they'd be out by now because obviously we had the show in yesterday for it and today because
For
there's
Goat.
like an early release.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, for
Okay.
both. Yeah, but officially it's not out until next Friday.
Yes, Friday,
So
yeah.
I thought because of the early release, I thought critics would have already reviewed it and got their score out. But yeah, still waiting for it.
It must be the next couple of days we'll get it. Um, and we'll know if you picked well or not. Letterboxd for Send Help scores 3.5, which is very good.
Yeah,
I
very good
can't
on
remember
that.
what the other recent ones we've done. I think Iron Lung was like 3.3, was it? But we said that was probably heavily pushed by fans of Markiplier rather than the movie. Um,
Yeah,
Obviously, this film, if you don't know, is featuring Rachel McAdams, who is of fame from, I can't think of anything off the top
come
of my
on,
head. Mean
The
Girls.
Notebook.
Mean Girls. Oh, and The Notebook. Um, Also in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, obviously. Remember her in that?
She's the
She's Doctor
wife.
Strange's love
Yeah,
interest. Yeah.
yeah.
Obviously in Doctor Strange 1 as well. Um, About Time, Midnight in Paris, Sherlock Holmes.
Is
Southpaw. Is
she
she the
in?
wife in Southpaw?
I think
Oh,
she
she
is.
might
Yeah,
be. Yeah,
with Jake
fuck.
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's
Is
in
she in
lots of
True
stuff,
Detective?
man.
The TV show True
I don't know.
Detective?
I'm on Letterboxd, so it's just showing me the movies.
I think she plays the like detective in
She's in The
that.
Vow. Because she was like,
She's in a lot of
she's
stuff,
like
man.
the
Yeah.
romance movie person, isn't she? Like she's in all of them.
Yeah.
Um, Fair enough. And obviously also features Dylan O'Brien of the Maze Runner movies.
Yeah.
I think that's
And
where he's
Teen Wolf.
most famous. He's also in Bumblebee. Um,
He's in he was I think Teen Wolf came out before the Maze Runner films. So Teen Wolf is a like a
his
TV show.
This is in his
He plays like the
introduction, is it?
yeah, obviously he might be in the stuff before that, but that's the first thing that I saw him in. He plays Styles, the best friend of the main character, so he's the main character in that as well.
There's obviously other cast members, but we're not going to go into all of them. This heavily features around
They're the main
Dylan
two.
O'Brien and
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams, obviously, if you know what the story is about. Um, I will quickly read out the letterboxed blurb for this one. So it says, Meet Linda Liddle. She's from strategy and planning. She's the boss now. Two colleagues become stranded on a deserted island, the only survivors of a plane crash, hence my pun at the beginning. On the island, they must overcome past grievances and work together to survive, but ultimately, it's a battle of wills and wits to make it out alive. So, Letterboxd has this movie as 113 minutes, so not quite 2 hours. It is when you include the adverts and stuff at the beginning in the cinema. Directed by Sam Raimi, produced by Sam Raimi and a few others. Um, Written by Damien Shannon and Mark Swift. I don't know who they are. Um, Genres on Letterboxd, they call it a thriller horror comedy. They're the three different
Makes sense.
categories. Fits them all by the
Yeah.
bill. It's
It
going to be
does.
one of those movies. I don't like when I'm recommending it. I don't. I'm not going to call it a horror. I don't think 'cause it's not a horror.
No.
Like, we've had this debate so many times. We're going to have an episode one day where we discuss thriller versus horror. Um,
Yes. Yes.
I do think it's much more thriller than it is horror, but there's elements of horror, so I understand the ranking. And comedy is very much in this
There's
movie.
not. Yes.
Um, okay, that's everything here worth talking about. I think actually it says it premiered on the 21st of January in US, but that's just the
Okay.
premiere. So the actual release was still the 30th.
Yeah.
Cool, Andy. We'll go through. We have got Stephen's thoughts. I've got them written down, so I will read those out afterwards. But for now, Andy, what did you think of Send Help?
Yeah. I really enjoyed this film. I don't know if our short's gone up yet, but if you've
It
seen that,
has, yeah.
then yeah, you would have sort of known that I was going in that direction. I had a lot of fun with this film. I needed to watch a good film because after watching Iron Lung and Return to Silent Hill and more recently Strangers Chapter 3, it's like I'd seen a lot of bad horror films and obviously going into this thinking mostly it's going to be horror, but yeah, like we said, it's probably more towards the thriller sort of side of things for me. The Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams, I loved like both their performances in this. I thought were amazing. They play two different characters that I haven't seen them play before. Um, and especially like well both of them really like the way that they have to switch up in this movie in terms of like there's this I'll say that spoilers but yeah there's certain scenes where th- they're having to convince each other that they're not like they're having to pretend to be a certain way to survive basically.
Yeah.
um I think this is very much a relatable like movie in terms of not for me as such in terms of work, but I can see there being a lot of people at their work where sort of they should be up for promotion. They should be the person that's getting promoted in their job. Instead, new CEO comes in, they're just picking their favorites based on their personalities, not actually anything to do with the work and stuff. So I can see this actually being really relatable to a lot of people in that sense. And so that is another way to connect with the audience. Obviously, straight away their character building between Linda. What's Dylan's character called? Because I know you said Linda for the
He is
girl
called
or
Bradley.
Rachel Bradley. So straight away there it sets the scene straight away when he's getting introduced to the office. He's walking through, and she's just eating a tuna sandwich. And these aren't obviously spoilers, but and then she's got like a bit of tuna like left on her face as she's like talking to him, and straight away that's setting the scene of like the comedy between them, and the way that he's gonna like view her as a person and stuff, and the fact that it's like again that can be a very relatable situation where if you're talking to someone and you see they've got something on their face like because it just like zooms in and focuses on her having like food left on her face and stuff. And it's like, I can see that happening. Like if you was talking to someone and you notice something, you'd be like, you completely lose focus of the whole conversation. It's like, that was just such a funny touch. And I thought that helped set the scene. Um, it had a combination of all the genres that we mentioned. So you had the gore moments. I thought there could have been more of that, and I thought at certain points in the film they were going to show more, but then they sort of shied away from it. So that's why for me it goes more towards the thriller. Whereas if they actually went ahead with some
All
of
in,
those
yeah.
moments or showed it on screen, then I'd be thinking, yeah, this is a horror. But because they sort of always like jump to a different scene before sort of showing fully the effects of what happened. Um, it was definitely funny. There was a lot of like I don't know if you picked up on it, Welchy, but I said to Stephen after we got out of the cinema, there was a bit where it shows Linda in her house and it shows her bookcase. And one of the books was called How to Talk to Your Bird or something. And obviously she's got a parrot.
Yeah,
And then there was another one to do with like survival. It's like
yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
how how to be off the grid or something. And I was like, they're just little small details in the background
yeah,
that add to this movie.
yeah.
Um, and the way that it sets up as well, obviously everyone know that this is um, Linda and Bradley being stuck on an island after a plane crash. The fact that it builds up her character, what she can do, obviously being like the survivalist, the whole scene on the plane with like her audition tapes for that show, and I think you see her watching it prior to that as well. I thought
Yes.
that's such a good way to like be like you like otherwise you got two random people on an island and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to survive on there. So the
Or
fact
yeah,
that
if they didn't set up and she was just all of a sudden really good at surviving, you're like, how the fuck did you get
yeah,
this? But straight away you're like, well, yeah, I get it. That her life
yeah, yeah.
is she loves this shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was such a clever setup to give her that like background story with it. Um, but then you've also got the comedy side, which I think I'll say for spoiler talk, but certain parts of when they're on the island and then you find out something at the end, it's like that sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, the only like the only thing that like chucked me off, and I thought, is this why they're calling it a horror? Like you had like random skeletons pop up on the screen. Do you remember like
Yeah, and
I
like zombies and stuff, or like little scary um jump scares, you mean?
yeah, but it didn't really seem relevant. Like
No.
I feel like they just chucked him in there to have a jump scare
Yeah.
and then say this is a horror. And it's like there's plenty of things that they could have chucked into this where they could have actually had a jump scare, especially with like the hunting side of things, like
There was
with the
one that
ball.
that one got me the hunting bit.
Yeah, yeah. So bits like that, they could have just added more stuff of that
Yeah.
instead of adding in the skeletons and the zombies like popping up. But it's like it's not a supernatural like film
No.
or like a paranormal film. So it's like, why are you just chucking those in? Um, so that didn't really make sense to me. But the rest of it, yeah, I thought the story was really funny. I thought it was paced really well. Again, the choice of music in this film and the way that Linda's character starts and the way that she ends, with like all the details, like with her mentioning her karaoke song when she's talking to someone in the office at the start, to
Yes.
then at the end, like
That's
the
her
end
final
scene with
song.
that song playing. Yeah, I thought that was perfect. I think there could be a second film, which I'd be interested to see, or maybe like a prequel, based on like there's a scene where she's talking about what happened to her
The husband,
husband,
yeah.
and I was sitting there listening, thinking, is that a bunch of shit? Because has she had these moments before where she sort of lean towards like being a bit psycho.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, is that right, or did she just lose it
Hmm.
in that moment again? So it'd be interesting to see if they do a prequel or a sequel to this movie because obviously it's done well ratings wise, and obviously maybe it's money back already. Um, but yeah, it had the gore. I thought we could have had more gore. There was a particular scene where with the rat. I think you'll know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, where she's pretending to obviously do something else on you're thinking, oh fuck. And for a moment I thought she was actually gonna like lift up and show us, and it's like
Yeah.
they're the moments where they shied away from doing that. Whereas if they've done it, that adds like an extra level to this movie. You do get some like gross bits, like the whole plane scene where obviously that's happening, and I can't remember his name now, but I'm going to call him Dickhead. He's trying to throw her out the chair,
Yeah.
and then he's just like flies out the plane. He's like got the tire there, and you just see his face. She just shuts down the window. It's like everyone literally laughed at that moment.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I thought it was really it was paced really well. The comedy was really well done. The performances from Dylan and Rachel were incredible. It was a really good movie. I really loved it. Yeah, it was intense. I wouldn't class it as a horror. I'd recommend anyone go watching this. If people said, "Oh, they don't like horrors, they're scared of horrors,"
Yeah, no. It's not that kind
this
of
is not
horror.
going to put you off that. Yeah, it's not scary at all.
No.
Maybe one or two jump scares,
Yeah.
but not like they're not scary jump scares. Like it's like for example, playing the exit projects when the boxes just jump out. Like
Yeah.
that's not something scary, but the sudden movement of that happening,
Yeah.
things like that. Um, so yeah, I really enjoyed it. I scored this 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I'll probably give it an 8.5 on our scale.
8.5. Okay. So you're saying it's on par with films like Whiplash, better than The Housemaid in terms of like recent films?
Yeah, yeah, I'd say it's better than Housemaid.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. Um, I really liked it as well. I mean, people, if you've seen our TikTok or our short that went out, then you would know that. Um, I think it's really well done. I think Rachel McAdams and Dylan Bryan are fantastic. Like, really,
Yes.
really, really good. I think it's only going to do Dylan well because he's not in that. I know he's in amazing run films, but his career's starting a bit more than hers is. Um,
Yeah,
I saw a thing the other day where he hasn't got Instagram and he thinks
yeah, I
it's
saw that.
affecting
Yeah,
it's affecting his ability to get roles because they look at that kind of thing now, like how many followers you've got because you need to be able to promote our movie.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and I hope that doesn't carry on because he's very, very good in this. He surprised me how good he was. Um, you need a lot of range and a lot of different emotions to portray in this movie, and I think him and
Yes.
Rachel did amazing. Um, but yeah, really good movie. I think it had everything. It had a bit of gore, some horror elements. It was definitely the thriller. It was definitely comedy, and it was definitely interesting the whole way. It was intense. He was interested the whole way. He was interested in their motivations, even though you kind of knew their motivations. But you wondered if there was like other parts to it. There's a couple twists and turns, but I guess my biggest downside is that it was quite predictable to me. Most of the story,
Yeah,
which I guess
it
these
was.
films are like stranded movies. You can kind of know where this is going. Um, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
there were twists and the reveal ish towards the end. I was like, okay, I didn't see that coming, but I could see the outcome of this movie coming from a mile away.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
when certain things happen, certain people turn up, you're like, I know where this is going. Like it's just that's the only thing I'd say is that a lot of it was just pretty predictable, but it was still done well enough where I wasn't like seeing it happen and being like, I saw this coming, it's boring. It's like no, it was still really well done. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
Partly helped by the amazing acting. I feel like we're getting a lot of amazing acting recently, but this one
We are.
is
Yeah.
it was just so good to watch. It was so fun. Like I'm smiling through it. I'm enjoying watching it. Um, it wasn't it wasn't any moment where I was bored in this movie at all. Like even the intro where you're waiting to get to the island, it was all really well done. It was really well shot,
Yeah.
funny. Um, but yeah, most of the things we'll talk about will be spoiler territory. I would give this 8.5 as well. I think
Oh, you matched
it's
me.
yeah. My review on Letterboxd says, oh, I've just pressed on an advert, which
I
doesn't
saw
help.
you gave it a 4 out of 5, so I wasn't sure.
I gave it four. Yeah, I said I was going to give it 4.5, but I cannot accept the disrespect to tuna sandwiches because there's multiple times in this film where they disrespect tuna sandwiches, and I was like, I love tuna
Yeah.
sandwiches, so I'm going to have to knock you down a score. But no, in all seriousness, um, I always come out of movies and I like to sit on it for a bit and think about it. And the way I like our review scale, where it's a number, but it's also like a description. So
Yeah,
10
yeah.
being a masterpiece, I would have to be able to recommend this film to someone and say that is a masterpiece. You have to see this movie. Or if someone says, "Oh, how was the film last night?" If I go, "Oh, it's amazing," I know this is a 9 out of 10. I would say this. I'm not quite there. Like if I was recommending this to someone, I wouldn't say this is amazing. Like I would say this is a great movie. You should probably go and watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It's worth a
I'm
watch. Yeah.
close to that amazing. It's just something that wouldn't I wouldn't be comfortable saying to someone this is amazing, and then they go and be like, "Oh, it was great." I wouldn't say it was amazing. Do you know what I mean? That's so I feel like the word I would use to describe this film is that it's really great.
Yeah. I
So I'm
think that
close to that
I
amazing.
think I think it's the overall story that stops it from being amazing because,
Yeah,
like you say, it's very
it's
predictable from the
predictable.
trailer,
Yeah.
from everything that they've shown beforehand. You know exactly what's going to happen in this movie. Like it could go different ways. Like there could be two different endings, I think, to this movie.
Yes.
But either way, like you get to a certain point in the film and you're like,
Sorry. Yeah.
it's going one way.
It's not predictable as in like the ending. Like you say, there was two ways this ending was going to happen.
Yeah.
It was more likely going to be the ending we got. I think that was more likely the way it was going,
Yes.
and I'm fine with it. I'm not saying I just dislike it, but that moment you mentioned the rat, I think that
Yeah.
was a moment that could have taken this to a 9 for me if they
Yeah.
went
And
another way with
even
that.
yeah, and even the end bit or one of the end bits with the golf clubs like that again, they shied away from that. I think.
I'm going to save that for the spoiler bit. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I won't say too much.
what I will do before we move on to spoilers is go through Stephen's review. So Stephen texts me. It's on the screen, so bear with me when I'm not looking at you guys. He says, "This movie is really fun watch. Sam Raimi walks a thin line between horror and comedy. We have to have a debate about this because it's more a thriller.
Yes.
Um, just like he did with his first horror movie, The Evil Dead. That concoction, I think he means, of horror and comedy is there in all of its glory. You'd be forgiven for thinking that this was a comedy office movie when it starts, but the turn it takes when the plane crashes, people with no idea watching that movie would be like, what the fuck? And I did think that watching this, thinking, I wish I didn't know. Like, if you go into this film at the beginning, just thinking this
Yeah.
is like a office
A
movie, you're
comedy.
thinking,
Just
this
yeah.
is odd. and then the plane happens. I would love to recommend this to my family and say, if you haven't seen the trailer, don't watch it. Just go
That
in.
was it. Yeah,
I'd love to see that perception. Is that even better? Does it
that
make it
would
a
be
better
funny.
movie? Probably. Um, he goes on to say Rachel McAdams is great as Linda. She really gave Anne Wilkes vibes from Misery. Oh, okay, from Misery. Yeah, yeah. As the movie progresses, that probably slightly spoils things for people that don't know, but it's fine. I really like Dylan O'Brien as Bradley. He plays a complete dickhead who you do start to feel for. There are moments of real disgusting body horror, some psychological horror moments, and a couple of jump scares. But it's a movie which packs a lot of laughs, bloodshed, and great horror moments, building to a strong ending. Movie is a great horror comedy and does exactly what it says on the tin, but does it to a very high level. I can't find any fault with the movie, and for that reason, I'm going to give this
Not a 10 out of 10
a
again,
10 out of
please.
10.
No,
I think I'm
Steven.
gonna rename Stephen in the intro to the podcast to
Fucking
Mr. 10 out of
hell.
10 because
If he refused Iron Lung and gives that a 10 out of 10, I'm gonna be fucking fuming.
he is definitely Mr. 10 out of 10 at the moment, so I might have to change his name to that. My
Jesus.
reply to him was another 10 laughing face.
Yeah. I wonder if like after hearing our because like a lot of the time
You need
you'll
to
come
bounce
out have your
opinions off.
opinion.
Yeah,
If you then heard other people's opinions, like if you heard what we said about it, you'd be thinking, oh shit, yeah, I didn't think about it that way.
yeah.
Wonder if he would change his mind after well listening to this back.
Well, there you have it. 10 out of 10 from Stephen. Me and Andy give it an 8.5. Obviously, still a very strong score. We're going to take a very quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be doing spoilers. If you do not want to see spoilers, or hear spoilers, I should say, then by all means come back when you have watched the movie. If you don't care, then obviously please do stick around. There's a lot to talk about. If you're not sticking around, the next episode is going to be our Fallout Season 2 review. So look forward to that. Yeah, quick break and we'll be back. Welcome back to the Late Night Movie Podcast. We are reviewing Send Help. Andy gave it an 8.5, I gave it an 8.5, and Stephen has given it a 10. We're now going to go into spoilers, so final warning. If you don't want to hear spoilers, then please come back when you've watched the movie. So, the point we have to talk about is the rap bit, because I do think it's a
Yes.
pivotal moment. One, because it was funny. So, obviously, what the point we're referring to is she gets drugged by Dylan, Uncle Bradley, and he tries to escape on the raft. And as soon as I saw that raft, I was like, oh, "That ain't fucking making it."
Yeah.
But I thought, fair enough, good attempt. I didn't
Yeah.
think
The
he was
moment
drugging her.
just
To be fair,
before
when he made the food, my initial
I
thought
didn't
wasn't
know.
he's drugging her, so I thought that was quite
Yeah,
clever,
because that at that point, like he'd been like
playing along, playing
bonding with
nice.
her.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and I thought he was actually being serious in like those sort of remarks they'd been making and stuff,
yeah.
and actually thought, oh, this is my best chance of survival. Like actually starting to bond with her, not like sort of you thought it was going to be. He starts off as a dickhead. They get stuck on this island. He sees her in a different point of view, and he actually starts to like her, and like potentially it goes down the romance
Love
sort of
interest.
route.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But then like obviously when that whole scene starts and he pulls out the raft and then he thinks it's like working, he's like, fuck you, Linda. Like and then next moment it just breaks
Crushes.
off
Yeah,
and you like just see the massive wave coming over. Yeah, that was perfect.
and obviously she gets her own back, drugs him,
Yes.
um, to the point where he's awake but he can't feel anything, and then she supposedly starts chopping his genitals off. And I was wincing. I was like, "Oh my god! Like,
Yeah,
fuck me, here we go. This is where the film's gonna take a fucking step and go to this great
yeah.
to amazing point." And
It's
then
all the
she,
wording as well. The way she's speaking as she's doing it
yeah,
and like talking
the
about
way
it,
she's
you're
describing
thinking,
it and the blood squirt stuff. I'm
yeah,
like, "Oh no!" And then she lifts the rat up, and I was like, "That is very very funny." But I was also
yeah,
like, "But I kind of wish you did it," because
yeah.
it
So was
takes
I.
her to that extra level of how psycho she is and how
Yeah, that's
much she's
what.
willing to do to stay on this island to like keep him
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in check. Um, so I kind of wish they went down that route and that the extra psycho. She's still very psycho. Um, not to say he's not a dick. Like this is one of those films where you don't know who to root for. He's a dick. She becomes a dick. Like it's. Did you
yeah.
did you root for
It
her or him or what was you?
it's tricky because obviously at the start,
You're
he's
very
made
much on
out to
her
be an
side.
absolute
Yeah.
dickhead. He's the people that he's friends with are
Oh yeah, kids.
dickheads.
Yeah.
Like the way that they're talking about golf and stuff, and like the way she doesn't get the promotion. Like it's set up for you to like her more over him.
Mm.
So I was more rooting for her. Like there was part during the film where I thought, oh, actually, he is turning into a nice guy, like we said before the whole raft bit.
Yeah.
So there was like moments where I was starting to lean towards, okay, I'm actually liking his character a bit more now. But then after that, from that moment onwards, I was like, no, he's still a dickhead. He's just trying to play nice to escape. It's like, but then she's also being psycho and keeping him there. She's like stopping him from leaving and obviously keeping things hidden. So it's like they're not. Neither of them are nice people essentially. So
No.
it's like whoever you choose, you're choosing a bad person. It's just in sense of this film, I wanted her to win because she was less. She was actually a nice person to begin with. Like essentially,
Yes.
um, her character very much
We
changes as she
think.
gets more confident.
We
Yeah, we
think.
think we don't know for sure,
Mm.
but from what we see, she's very much a sort of shy, keeps to herself at work, maybe,
Yeah.
not very liked by her colleagues and
Hmm.
stuff. And you get that from when she's trying to awkwardly interact with some of her colleagues and stuff about the karaoke and going out for a drink after work, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, so you sort of get the sense that she's very much a loner, I guess. Um, and then she's very much innocent, nice. Obviously, she sort of gets taken the piss out of with the whole audition thing.
Hmm.
So you are sort of rooting for her at the start, but had she always had that dark edge to her in the back of her mind? Has she had those moments before?
Yeah.
Like like we said with the husband, the whole scene when she's talking about oh I can't remember exactly, but she's like, oh, I usually hide the keys to stop him driving out going drunk, and
Drunk driving. Yeah.
she gave him the keys, knowing that he would
And gave
drunk
him an extra drink.
drive. Yeah, so it's things like that. Is like the way she's saying it is making you think that the husband was the bad guy in this situation.
Yeah.
But that's why I said like I wonder if we get a sequel where it flashes back to that. The story is on their life, and it's actually her like force feeding him drinks or something, or like I don't know exactly,
Slowly.
but it's
Yeah.
actually the whole story behind it is actually she's the one she's done something in that situation to fuck him over, which is what she does to Bradley in
Mm.
this movie.
Yeah, I mean, the other big twist was obviously that there's this massive mansion of a holiday house on the
Yeah,
back of the island.
I wasn't sure what it's going to be. I originally I thought it was going to be loads of boats around there
That's what I
because you see
thought
obviously
because
a
she
boat
saw
driving
one.
past.
So I thought
Yeah,
she was just saying, don't go there because you're going to see a fuckload. Or at least, even if
yeah,
it wasn't loads, like that's just where the patrol was, like every now and then.
yeah.
So she thought, I better not
I knew there's
chance
something
it.
around there that obviously, yeah, because she obviously is like, oh, don't go over there. There's loads of like fawn edges or something. It's like, okay, something's around there that she obviously doesn't want him to see. I just didn't think it was going to be like this lovely mansion that they could have lived in.
Yeah. Um, and obviously, at first you just think, oh shit, that's there. But then you even realize that she's been there loads. She's been there making use of the
Yeah,
food, the tools,
yeah,
the beds, probably having a nice sleep.
yeah,
The
yeah.
showers, probably. So,
Exactly. And the food is obviously the main bit. And
yeah.
the knife. That's so funny with the knife when she's like, you really think a knife just washed up on the beach?
And even I was like, oh, fine, yeah, I believe you. But I didn't think it come
Yeah.
from a
No, yeah.
house. Um,
It sort of makes sense when you see it afterwards.
oh,
Because like
it makes
that
perfect,
knife
yeah.
was like in pristine condition.
Mhm.
And you're thinking like if a knife from the water rocked up, you're thinking it's going to be a little bit rusty. Like it's
Yeah,
not going to look brand new. Looking back on it, it's literally a brand new knife. And it's like, yeah, it makes sense.
yeah. So that was the main twist I didn't see coming. Obviously, the drug in as well. But everything else I thought was pretty straightforward. I thought the plane crash was actually done really well. Like
Yeah, maybe.
because of the film it is, it could have made it a lot. And it had a comedy moment to it, like you said, like when he's hanging out the airplane, and she closes
Yeah,
the window and stuff. But it was still done well. It seemed like a scary moment. Like I could imagine being there and how bad it would be. It's like even when
yeah,
they're
yeah,
joking about putting a seatbelts on, and then he goes
yeah.
flying up. I just thought it was done really well, and I thought for this kind of film, they could have just made it less so. If it makes sense. Didn't have to show us
Yeah, they could
everything.
have
It could have
like
just
not
been
even
like
shown
a
anything.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I thought it was done really well. And then the hunting scene, the that was a major
yeah,
jump scare for me. Just it just jumped out at the moment. I was like, oh fuck, I knew it was coming. It still
Yeah,
got
I'm
me.
pretty sure I jumped. Yeah,
Um, and that was gory. That was gory. The amount of
yeah.
blood in that scene, I was like, oh shit,
I, I feel like all the Bordeaux was just like the boar and
the rat.
the rat. Whereas like the reason I won't class it as a horror is because like the horror moments where like with the plane, for example, and you see his face, like you see like his eyes almost popping out. But they I feel like they even done those bits in like a comedy way, where it's
Yes.
like, when like their eyes like come like flashing out
Hmm.
in like a kid's show or whatever. And the only other bit was when Bradley's Dylan's character Bradley is like gorging her eyes out almost, and like
In the
one of her
final
eyes
fight,
almost
yeah.
pops out. Like that bit, I can see why they class that as like horror. But again, they almost done it in sort of like the way that the eyes coming out is more like a comedy sort of
Yeah.
sketch. Is
I
so
don't know
that's
how
why
her
I
eye
didn't
didn't
really like.
burst, by the way. Like, he was gouging at
Yeah,
that
God
thing.
knows. Yeah, yeah. Whereas I think they've done that purposely because then like the other moments, like at the end with the golf club where she obviously kills him, they shy away from showing that. Whereas, like, if they wanted to make this a full-on horror gore, they just show him getting his head smashed in with the dog club.
Is it the difference between it being a 15 and an 18?
Maybe,
Yeah.
obviously, horror expert
I
can
did
probably
wonder
tell you.
that if it was how do I find that out? It's rated R in America, but I don't know what that means. That's I don't know what that is. Um Send help UK rating. It's got to be 15. Like, I feel like I'd be comfortable with a 15-year-old watching that film.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Hold on.
no moments in there.
It's coming up with scores rather than rating. That's not. It says 16 plus on Common Sense Media, whatever that
It's not
is.
even a proper rating, is it?
No, but that probably leans towards 15. Um,
Yeah,
which is probably why they didn't go all in. They probably want it to be a 15. You get a few extra bucks that way, don't you? Um,
yeah, yeah. It's fine if that's the reason why they've done it. Then that it makes perfect sense. They hit a bigger target
yeah,
audience. For me, if they're classing this as a horror, then they need to show those moments more, and like
yeah. That
not shy away from it so much.
being on a stranded island isn't the horror element. It's going to be and they had the bit where his wife, fiance
Yes.
gets washed up on shore, and then she does like this scream thing and like almost like a jump scare. But I'm like, even that, I'm not calling this
Yeah.
horror. This is very much thriller to me, and I'm not. This isn't nothing to do with my rating. It's just if again when I'm recommending this film, I wouldn't say I was this new horror film because
I
you
know.
say that
Yeah.
and there's an expectation with that.
Yeah.
I would
I
say
agree.
as a thriller film. Then this
Yeah.
is not a. Steven's going to be watching this kick in his chair, thinking, "What the fuck? This is definitely
Probably.
horror." Um,
Yeah.
and that's not a negative thing. I'm just saying I would consider this more a thriller, a
Yeah.
thriller
But
comedy,
all
and
those
this is
moments
very
are
a lot
just
of
like,
comedy in this. So I think comedy definitely fits
yeah.
in it. Um, but for
The comedy like
example,
really overtakes the horror, which is why we
yes,
don't look at the horror. Because even like the bit you said with the Beyonce, when she like falls off the cliff, like there's a comedy sort of part to that as well. And like when you see her hand sticking out the
yeah, yeah,
sand
yeah.
afterwards, like it is very much comedy in those bits where like,
Was that hand? I have not watched the Evil Dead films, but I wonder if that was a bit of like an Evil Dead reference.
oh maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but
no, and I thought some of the jump
potentially it
scares might
is.
be Evil Dead kind of related. Um, Again, I don't know, but I kind of got that vibe. Um,
Yeah.
but thinking of horror comedies, like last year, The Monkey, it's a horror comedy because that goes all in on the gore. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not, I wouldn't say it's particularly scary, but it's more horror than this
No,
was.
yeah. Plus you have like the paranormal with the monkey,
Yeah,
like
true.
in terms of like the monkey's possessed, so that's like very much horror stuff. Whereas like this is more survival thriller,
Mhm.
and they like, if they did classes horror, I wouldn't be mad. I'd be thinking
No, no, no.
that's like perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Trying to think any other spoilers to talk about. I mean, it is a stranded on an island story. Like, it's not, there's nothing
yeah,
crazy about it
but
other than the couple of twists and turns, like with the house at the end. I liked some of the stuff with him just being a dick at the beginning when he was just like, I'm going to survive on my own. So
yeah, that was pretty
he's
funny. That
struggling
showed his
so
acting.
much.
Yeah,
Um, and actually, it's some of her ways that she was surviving, I was like, it's actually fucking good. And I'm sure it's actually accurate as well, like some of the stuff she was doing. Um,
yeah, yeah,
and I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I just think it was done really well. Dylan O'Brien, I just thought played his role so well. Some of his like scenes where he was laughing, but like
Yeah,
sarcastically laughing, like trying to be happy, like nice to her, but clearly hates her
yeah,
fucking guts. Um, I, I cannot fault their performances. That's not why I've not given it a 10. It's more on just the predictable story. If I was just doing it
yeah,
on like
yeah.
acting, it's up there. It's not
Oh,
quite it's not
yeah,
quite
yeah,
Bone Temple. Like the acting in that film is again probably slightly a notch above that as well. Um,
yeah. I think that's part of the story though. Like
yes, the story helps Bone
for like
Temple.
for this type of story, the way that they're acting in this type of movie, I thought was brilliant. Like the part you mentioned with Dylan's character when he's like he goes off and it's like, oh, I'll make my own camera, I'll fly by myself, or like he pisses her off, so she goes and he's like it like shows like day one or like I don't know if it's day one or like parts during the day, but it's like, oh yeah, I've got this, it's fine. And then day two, it shows him like going crazy, and like day three, he's like pretending that he's got it again on like all those flashes. Like it's in all in such a short time,
Yeah,
but it's just so funny. But it just shows you like his level of acting from being like calm and patient to like, I've got this, I'm the man here, and then all of a sudden he's like, I need your help, I need your help, and like crying about it and stuff. But yeah, it's so funny.
I I mentioned earlier about not knowing who to root for. Obviously, it's obvious you root for her at the beginning, but at the end, and when you feel like she is literally keeping him there hostage, like she could
Yeah.
easily get him off this island, but
Oh yeah,
she's keeping
100%.
him there because she wants to be there, not because. And she could have carried on living there, but she doesn't want to be alone.
Yeah, she
Um,
got a sense of power, and I think she started to like him as well because it shows the bit when he's in the sea, like naked,
yes, yeah,
yeah, what, and she's like just staring at him. So she's obviously like falling for him, but he's also a dickhead, and it's
yeah,
like, and then yeah, and then she just goes full psycho mode on him.
yeah. I thought it's really well done. It's just slightly predictable. The golf club at the end. I was so close
Yes,
to putting in my review on Letterboxd, saying I didn't know this was a Last of Us 2 reference, like a Last of Us 2 movie.
yeah,
But I thought that's probably a spoiler because as soon as you say that, people are going to be like, "There's a couple of things this could mean," and as soon as I see the golf club, it's going to be like, "Oh, that's what it means." um,
yeah,
but I thought that was again the good ending. I was happy with the ending. I liked that it went took the golf swing, then she's on the
yes,
golf
yeah,
course,
yeah,
um, and she's been doing this book. Or was it a book or a movie? I think she wrote a book and they're making a movie about her book.
yeah, yeah,
I thought it's all very well done, very well done.
yeah. And the fact she's like driving in like a very nice car, like it showed like the transformation from at the start, she's like
Down
a
and out,
geeky office person, wears glasses, like you say, down and out. And then end of the movie, I can't remember if she's like wearing all pink, but she's obviously wearing like
all
a
white, I
golf
think,
outfit,
all white.
all white, driving a nice car, and they're playing her karaoke movie song that she said she'll sing at the start of the film, and she's just driving, listening to that. I thought, oh yeah, that's perfect.
I did wonder how that parrot is still alive because she was gone for a long
Yeah,
time and that parrot was just there.
true.
I'm guessing she
Yeah,
has family that went round or something, maybe, but I was thinking, I'm not sure the parrot should be there unless you got a new one. Um,
yeah. Well, I don't know how long parrots survive for. Like,
true.
do like with like a lot of pets, you put food in on Monday and they can like that last them like the week. Because how long were they actually on the island for?
Oh, did they say in it? Did they say because obviously the fiance comes, they've already called off the search party. She was like doing it on her own, so
Yeah,
it must have been a long time because to call off a search party must because when she sees the boat for the first time, that is still the search party. Look, oh no, it's not. That's the people going to the house.
to do the
They
house.
just don't
Yeah,
show us that bit. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they say, but I'm guessing it was a long, long time. At least a month. You've got to think.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But the confidence she gets from like as soon as they get to the island, you just see the difference in her character in terms of like this is my time to shine.
yeah,
Like I can prove the boss here. But then yeah, obviously he's still a dickhead, and that doesn't help in the slightest. But yeah, I just it's just such a good film. It's just so funny. Like
yeah. It's really fun. Really fun. I'd recommend it to everyone. It's just such a fun movie to go and watch at the cinema, or wait till it's on streaming. Like it's not. I don't think it's a
yeah,
must see on the big screen. Um,
no, there's not a lot of scenes like there's not a lot of action scenes in this.
no.
Like you go watch a film, and you're like, yeah, that's an obvious. You need to see it on the screen because of all the
Set
bombs
pieces,
exploding, or
yeah,
like, yeah,
or
wherever
like
it is.
sound effects. I would say go and watch it in the cinema, support the movie because films like this
Yeah,
need to be supported rather than films like Silent Hill and Iron Lung. Um, because I think Iron Lung is probably going to maybe catch up to this movie, which is crazy.
it's
Um,
crazy.
but yeah, any other points you want to talk about before we wrap up?
No,
I
I
can't
think
think
we
of any
sort of
like
mentioned
major
it.
plot points now.
No, I think we've covered the main ones. I think if we was watch this film again, there might have been a lot of like other hidden details that we might not have picked up on.
Yeah,
I feel like that film done that well. But yeah, no, the performances were great. The story, although predictable, it was well done. So like we said, it didn't ruin the film for me knowing
yeah.
sort of what was going to happen. And like at certain points, I wasn't sure which way it was going to go, whether it's going to be the romantic way with the characters bonding together and him actually like seeing her in a different light. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
I sort of like the way it went.
I think knowing they was calling it a thriller horror to me made me think
Yes,
this is.
true.
I can see they're hinting at this rom-com thing, but I was like, that is not a
Not
thriller
a happy
horror.
ending.
This
Yeah,
there's
I
something.
think
It's not going to go that way.
it just shows how good they are at acting though, because there were moments where I thought
Yeah, you
when
thought it could
Dylan's
happen.
like when he's like being nice to her and stuff, and you're thinking like, oh okay, like they're actually getting along now.
Hmm.
But that's him just trying to pull a fast one and build the raft while she's like put her guard down. But yeah, obviously he soon regrets that.
Yeah, that raft was never making it.
Yeah, that's
Even
just so
I just
funny.
don't think. I mean, he was obviously so desperate to get away, but even when they went up to that like mountain bit and he looked and saw how far there was like no land, like what raft is going to
Yeah,
get you
yeah,
anywhere?
yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah,
I just
because he says it right at the start, doesn't he? He's like, "Oh, we
yeah,
should build a
what a
raft,"
raft,
and
yeah.
she's like, "Shut the fuck up,"
Yeah, the
basically.
other funny bit is when he obviously said, "Oh, like make a sign like with bamboo sticks," and then
Yeah,
he
he tells
makes
him on
it,
the
and she just goes, "Heppel." I was like, "That's quality."
Yeah, I'm sure there's other moments that we've missed, but like
Yeah,
there's so many.
it was funny. It was a
Yeah,
genuinely funny
there's so many
movie.
funny moments.
Um,
And
yeah,
like the bits when she like obviously gets like the coconut coconut like shells or some like shells or something, and she like it shows her how to like get water from when it's raining and stuff,
yeah, and he
and
tries
then it
it.
shows him doing it, and it's like complete fail, and it's just so funny.
Then the rain
um
stops, doesn't it? It's like he gets it all set up and
yeah,
it
oh
starts
yeah,
stops.
he gets his sound the rain stops, yeah. And the bit with the food as well, when he's like he hasn't eaten in days, and he's like begging her,
Yeah,
and she's got like full on like sushi and like sauce there, and you're like,
which I'm now
like how the
thinking
fuck she
might be
done that?
from the house because
Yeah, that's obviously yeah,
yeah,
because you see like obviously them bringing in like the resupplies of the fruit and stuff.
yeah,
So she's obviously gotten all of that stuff from the house, which you don't know at the time. You're thinking like, fucking hell, she is like good at this survival
yeah,
stuff. But when you see the house, it like clicked in my head like, she's obviously got all of that stuff from the house. And like when he sees the house for the first time, it's just such a funny moment seeing his face being like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Like,
I thought one thing I did think was that someone might be there and that she would actually
yeah,
go in and kill everyone um,
yeah, yeah,
to keep this whole thing secret. Obviously, no one was there, and it still played out really well. Um, I didn't quite get the bit where she said, first thing I did was turn off all the security, said, and the billionaire never noticed. So I was like, so how are you looking at him in the cameras now? Because you said you turned it all off. Like, have you turned it
yeah.
back on? Or is it more, it's not recording anymore, maybe? That's more what it was.
I took more like she's turned off like the alarm systems and stuff to the house.
Okay, yeah,
But
and probably the recording, so she can use the cameras and nothing will be recorded and saved anywhere. Maybe that's
yeah,
what it meant, yeah.
yeah,
But no, great movie. I've been to cinema 3 times. I am 2 for 3 in terms of good cinema trips. Not quite as bad as your
it's
record.
lucky for you. I
Yeah,
think I've seen like 8, 9 films now, and The Bone Temple and this are the two that stand out. I can't. Oh, and Hamnet, I really enjoyed as well.
yeah.
So those three. But yeah, there's been. It just shows you how many movies already this year there's been some that I've missed and not had the chance to see.
Mhm.
I'm hoping Wasteman's going to be good. That looks like a really good
That does look
drama.
good. Yeah,
Whistle and Scream this month as well. Another two horror movies.
I saw
So
the trailer for Whistle for the first time at a cinema. I thought it looked decent.
yes, yeah, it's got a lot of big names in it as well.
Are the reviews out yet? Not yet.
Not out yet, no. I
Okay.
think because I think that's more towards the end of the month that comes out.
Okay. I It gave me Talk to Me vibes.
Obviously, I haven't seen that, but
Yeah. It looked
it looks good.
decent.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw
it
another
has
clip
got
of that
scores.
today,
It
actually.
has got scores.
Oh, it has.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not
That's come
great.
out recently.
It's not great.
Oh, really?
Um,
Oh, God.
60.
What? That's better than. So the one, what I will say is, obviously, we watched Mercy, and that had 20%, and I actually really liked Mercy. 60% for a horror film compared to what I've seen recently is a good
Fair.
score.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying
Yeah,
Rotten Tomatoes wise, in our game, that gets you 0.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Audience score 51.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I was going to say,
So
I'll hopefully the audience scores better, but
yeah, it's not
mm,
it's not setting the world on fire. I'm still interested, but maybe I'll wait for it to come to streaming.
wait for us to watch it. We'll be the
Wait
same
for you
for
to
us.
watch it. Yeah. Cool. Well, that is gonna do it for this week's episode. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Let us know what you thought. I've not changed my notes here. Not Iron Lung. Let us know what you thought of Send Help if you've watched it. Drop your thoughts in the comments or tag us on socials at the Late Night Pods. We'd love to hear from you. Or you can join our Discord using the link in the description to get your thoughts in before we record our episodes. If you enjoyed this particular episode, make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you are listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode. Speaking of which, next time we will be reviewing Fallout Season 2. It's now finished, so we're going to give our thoughts. So don't miss that one. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I've been your host, Welchy, joined as always by my co host, Andy.
Yeah, thank you as always. It's nice to finally talk about a film that I enjoyed watching at the cinema. It makes a change.
And no other guest. I normally have to say someone else's name. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time.